Hello again. Remember me from a few months ago when I was talking about some cameras? Well, this time I'm going to talk about the DJI Osmo. So why am I holding one of these? Because if I go back 3 years, I bought one of these and was blown away by this little apparatus, the 3-axis gimbal. So no matter what this little piece of equipment was doing in the air, the camera remained level or wherever I wanted to be with the remote control. And that, as you can see, it's unbelievable. Blew me away. So I thought, wouldn't that technology be great if you'd used it but not in the air? If you could walk around with it? Well, it sort of exists in the form of very expensive, very heavy Steadicams. And then you've got things like a Movi, which you sort of handle like this, and a Ronin, which DJI produce, which you also handle like this. But you're looking at between £3,000 and £6,000 to spend money on stuff like that. So then DJI did it. They brought out this. And you know how I get really enthusiastic about stuff that is incredible. It's another thing that's like game-changing and incredible. I'm blown away, and you're going to see a lot of video that I've shot here in the UK and in the States. Okay, so I went to the Grand Canyon and used this, and I went in a helicopter and used it. That is just going to blow your minds when you see it. So it's not an unboxing, but you get a nice little pencil case or mini cello case to put it, keep it in, and you get this. You also get this apparatus here, which is where you mount your device for viewing it on and controlling it, which is your phone. Okay, I'm just going to put this together. Oh, I'll show you. I'll put it together. It's quite simple. You just open this out, chuck the phone in like this, push it, and this bit grabs it. So it's really solid. It's not going to fall out. It's fab. I can't see how you can use this without that. I've seen people on the internet demonstrating it, and well, you can't see what you're doing. So you need your mobile smart device to do it on. Okay. Now, the only drawback, talking about drawbacks already, because it's about startup time, because you'll never see them started up. Okay, because it takes time to get it all going, turn your phone on, marry the two up. That takes time. It's going to take you about 5 minutes, okay? And even if you put it into sleep mode, to wake it up is going to take you about 90 seconds. So you've got to be always prepared for that time. It's not instant, but once it's running, you're off and running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this while I just connect it all up, and I'm going to explain to you how I've done that. Here comes that pause. I may edit this bit back to the beginning of the video, which is going to sound really weird, isn't it? If you, why is he saying this? I don't know. Okay, what you're about to see now is something I did last week with a friend, a couple of friends, and my son. We're now in a helicopter flying over the Las Vegas Strip. Now we're banking, but as you can see by using the DJI Osmo, we're banking. The horizon stays flat. Now it looks like a simulator. I promise you we are not in a simulator. It looks amazing. And here I am sticking this up to the window, fighting with my mate because he's got a DSLR and I'm trying to get a shot. I'm virtually sitting on his lap, but it looks absolutely incredible. That in a helicopter. Now here's some shots just in the street. So we're just walking around, well, I'm just walking around, filming my friends, filming what's going on. And as you can see, everything is just, it's just so smooth. And now I'll show you some stuff around the Grand Canyon. If I touch the screen, you can see it's gone brighter because I'm actually telling it about the aperture. Okay, so it's actually going brighter. So if I touched it there, for instance, can you see it going darker? I don't know whether you can see that, but it's gone darker. So not only can you can control this touch screen that way, but you can also drag. Can you see I'm actually moving the camera just by pulling across the screen. Now this does a few clever tricks. One, of course, is this gimbal that I was showing you before. So you are always going to get incredibly smooth shots. Now, when you're walking, it is not a steady cam. You are going to get the walking movement because it's not going to get rid of that. What you are going to get rid of is wobbliness. Now, this works in quite a few modes, but one of them is what this trigger can do. So 3 taps, 1, 2, 3, brings the camera to me. So it's a selfie. Okay. The only thing is you do need to hold it as far away as possible because you're not going to be in focus. Okay. So, but it is really cute. I did think about giving this to brides. In fact, I've already tried it and I'm going to show you. It doesn't quite work because they're worried about what they're doing and they don't really understand how they've got to really hold it. So it doesn't quite work like that. But it is a bit of fun in selfie mode. If you double tap, 1, 2, off it goes that quick, and it's going to point and keep. You can see exactly what it's doing. If you hold, it will stay on that point. So as you can see, I'm moving around the axis and it's staying where it is because I am keeping my finger on the trigger. Let go and it's in its own free mode, which is absolutely amazing. Now you can use it upright, or as you'll see from these shots I'm going to show you on screen. I think these were, I've got a few to show you. Some are actually on Hollywood Boulevard, which don't they look brilliant? And some are walking around the Grand Canyon. This is just cool. Now, how you can do this is you can actually tilt it like this, double tap, and wow, did you see that? It points straight ahead. So you can pop this on the floor and it will just work beautifully. Okay, once again you point it back up. If you double tap, bang, it works. You have all the controls on here. You can record. Just look around this. It's really simple to use. You can take pictures as well. And it does a panorama thing. And it's 4K, which I wish I'd actually shot in 4K when I was in the States, because I could have then cropped in, which would have looked really, really good. Battery life, it lasts for about an hour. Okay, now batteries are around, I think they're around £28. This one I got came with a media card, and it wasn't quite big enough, so I had to buy another one. By the way, you can also control it. If I flip it round, there's a little pad here you can use with your thumb, and that pad moves the axis around. I'm hoping you can see what's going on the screen, but as you can see, as I move the pad, you can move this any way you want. You can start record on this button here, and there's also a photo button as well. So the photo button makes a silly noise. Microphone wise, it's rubbish. I don't know whether you can hear this. I'll try and be quiet. There's a fan within the camera section that's always on in it, and the mic's in here. There is a little socket just at the front here that you can put a mic into. The only thing is, I think it's a bit silly because you're going to have a cable coming off it and there's nothing to attach it to, and you're going to have to hold this mic. So that's a bit weird, unless they create a different attachment here where you can attach your device and a way of having a mic there, because I think it's a bit stupid. But you're really not going to, you don't want this for sound. So okay, I am now going to sell my crane because I don't know whether the pole is out yet, but there's a pole that can come with it which will attach to this area, and then this section here will go at the bottom end of the pole, which means you now have a 3-axis camera on the end of a crane. Now the crane I've got uses a undersling motorized pan and tilt gubbins that's so slow. It's made by Hague. It's so slow, it moves like this, whereas this thing, put my thumb on the controller, it's so fast, so you can track around objects, move up and down them. It's just completely amazing. Picture quality, okay, it's not Micro Four Thirds, it's the one down from that. Okay, so it's a 2/3 imaging device. So I don't think I've never seen anybody explain Micro Four Thirds, but what that means is it's a bit more than an inch. Okay, well this is 2/3 of an inch. Now I wondered what that would look like in low light. Now as you can see by what I'm showing you now, is you can't get much lower. Well, you can turn all the lights off, but here's a bit of a wedding where it was ridiculously low light. So you can see that it's reasonable, it's usable. The picture quality is fantastic. They are going to bring out a Micro Four Thirds camera for it. Well, it might be out now. But for this money, why bother? And I better tell you the people that supplied this to me. You remember I showed you at the beginning I had this quadcopter, and that's because I bought the quadcopter from Quadcopters UK. Okay, I've actually bought 2 from them. They actually contacted me and said, will I talk about this? So I got this from them, Quadcopters UK. I think you can find them on quadcopters.co.uk. Have a look, because they're selling this. I'm hoping they're going to have one of these long poles that I can stick this on. There's some other stuff you can get for it, like a little simple tripod and some other little bits and pieces. But it is fantastic. I'm just showing you the footage, because when you see this footage, it is absolutely brilliant. But here you can see how simple it is to use. It's immensely stable, but it's as stable as how smoothly you can walk. It is not a Steadicam, which takes out all your bouncing. Okay, so if you can walk smoothly, it's going to be the steadiest thing you'll ever get. This this sort of money, it is absolutely fantastic. Get one.